Fire springs forth. What bile does bubble? The black moon swings and the sky stirs trouble. By violent ends, we kill the light. Through the shadows, madness beckons. Wed at night.
1, 2, 3.
When a well-meaning, small-statured, dim-witted, financially adjacent, aspiring Twitch show host accidentally sells out his community and sends everyone on a collision course to wackiness?
I guess we'll find out.
Hi everyone, I'm Patrick Galactic. What you're about to witness is called Weird at Night. We've been a very happy stream for the last, well, whatever time is anymore. We've been a very happy stream. We've been sharing art, we've been sharing music, we've been laughing, we've community'd, we've done all those things, and we've still found lots of time to focus on me. But with this rapturous success came the need for more rapturous success, bigger rapturous success, eternal rapturous success. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about how to be a successful, bigger, better, more Twitch streamer, because isn't that what you're supposed to do? That's what everyone tells you to do. So obviously, around episode 29, I made a bit of a deal with a well-reviewed Twitch community grower thingy company called Finecore. And at first, we grew like never before, and I was rolling in the dough and basically that. But what I didn't even think to take the time to understand about the binding legal document that I bound myself and all of us to without reading was that Finecore has final programming say. And you can imagine with some of our contributors, this led to a real sticky situation. And if that wasn't hilarious enough, several of the stinky hippie types in the Weird at Night universe have gone missing. One of them was returned, but went from being a friendly, knife-wielding, self-harming LSD spiritualist to a Mad Men multinational, money-munching, merciless masochist. That's neither here nor there. It's somewhere. So we now have a community of contributors and community members who don't like Finecore, but I'm bound by some pretty serious legal ramifications to adhere strictly to the stuff I recklessly agreed to. What could go wrong? I guess we'll find out! What is up, everybody? I'm Patrick Galactic, and you're watching Weird at Night. I'm really happy to be here with you tonight because what an evening it's been. We had an absolutely mind-bending electro DJ experience with Jimmy Jackson. The visuals were absolutely stunning. It felt like a world-class performance all the way through. Jimmy Jackson, I just want to give it up to you. Thank you so much for gracing us with that. And then we're followed by the absolutely epic premiere of Astro Media Lab's AV podcast, The Laboratory, with special guest Noel Brass Jr. It was a fascinating dive into Noel's history and the history of Allison and Carlos, who are the interviewers, in the podcast. So I have some questions for you, for both of you. and I hope you'll answer them in the chat. Jimmy, I'm going to ask you first. How long have you been doing the streaming thing since the pandemic started? Were you doing it before? And it looks like you've been doing it your entire life, so you can't blame me for asking. But how have you kept your kind of creativity flowing since we've all been locked down? Jimmy, what have you been doing to kind of keep these moments fresh in your mind and make them possible? And then for Astral Media, I want to ask you, it's an incredible artist experience, a very 360 view of people that I actually know. Yet, after watching, I realized I didn't know as well as I thought I did. I learned a lot about Noel. So I know this has been a labor of love for you and Allison Carlos. How long have you been developing this? How long have you been kind of working in the streaming game? You had definitely done a lot of that. And how long did it take to develop the laboratory? If you all could answer in the chat and then answer any questions that anybody else has in the chat, I think we'd all love that. So thank you both ahead of time for your answers. I'm going to keep on moving. Last thing, big love to Blazing Space for pulling this whole thing off and pulling this whole thing together. Blazing Space is the reason that this night happened. So a very special episode of Weird at Night, most importantly brought to you by our MVP Blazing Space. Thank you. If you're new to Weird at Night, we're your twice weekly cosmic destination for creative conversation. Did you ever watch like cable access TV in the 90s, 80s, whatever, where people were just like permitted to go insane on television? That's kind of what we do here, except it's good. And all the weird shit that it was created in those times is kind of parodied or reflected in these times, but updated, of course, for the current vibe. We talk art, pop culture. We laugh, but we always make time to be very real and catch up with the community. So if you have any questions, just at me in the chat throughout the show, and I'll respond during the chat breaks. Coming up, we have Mere Death. We have Blazing Space. But first, I have something to talk to you about that was pretty cool. I've talked in the past about my kind of stubborn need to be late to the party, which is a refusal to watch something or listen to something while it's really, really popular because my expectations get really out of whack and I can't give something an honest appraisal because I'm almost always disappointed because it gets so oversold. So in an act of self-defiance, I defied myself. Punk rock is fuck. Defy yourself, bro. And watched Bill and Ted Face the Music with my roommate, the Razor Sharp, and his brother yesterday. And I have to say, it is an absolutely charming, lovely run through the all the stuff that you loved about the original Bill and Ted, but it's updated for the current time. You know, like usually for me, like 2 years from now, I'll think about watching Game of Thrones. That's kind of my timeline generally. So this was a big pivot. So I just loved it. You know, the original from 89 and the sequel from 91 have a couple moments that make me cringe a little bit these days in my current form. But it's hard to see that being a problem for Face the Music. It's really kind of a heartwarming story about these two dumbasses who in their early 50s are still basically as clueless about how to unite the world with song as they were in the beginning. But they have daughters now who are very much like them. And this is kind of the best part about the movie to me, is that Bill and Ted and their daughters continue to elevate music to this really lovely level of appreciation and find, you know, this kind of holy level of understanding and appreciation. And it's just a way of looking at music that hasn't been necessarily as prevalent in the popular culture over the last, I don't know, long time. Unless you're super famous, you're kind of just another musician. So it was just great to have a movie be based around people being humongous music fans. So anyway, Bill and Ted Face the Music, check it out. I found the hype to be absolutely deserved, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the original two. Now, moving on. Yep, you didn't need to see that, but you can see this, which is that notamucho.com has premiered Danny Denial's Scorpio Eyes video. And it is a really cool video. Danny Denial, if you've been watching Weird at Night, you know how much we all enjoy Danny's work. Another visual spectacle of sorts. So make sure you check that out. Matt Ashworth is dropping a link in the chat to that right now. But, you know, it's... I got some from Olga, and I haven't had time to watch it yet, but it seemed kind of desperate, so I'm going to run it.
Hi, it's me, Olga Lowgross of Gross Gorgeous. Do some makeup. Oh, it was right here in my hands. Okay. So, I really just want to get some really bold colors going because it's summer's almost over and that's the best time to have a bold look. You know? Yeah, bold but still like approachable. And still approachable. Bold and still approachable. Great, that's one eye done. A big meeting today with Finecore. Really excited. Gotta look my best and feel my best. You're gonna help me find him. He always did my makeup. It was fun. Nothing says power bitch like red lipstick. Incredible. It's like I love my hair. But I think this kind of color blocking is really the new way of the future. You're just looking for something and you just can't find it? Can't find it. But you keep looking. You know, you just always gotta keep looking. We'll find Jack. It's going to be fine. We're going to find him. They keep telling me we're going to find him, and then when I start to doubt it... Okay, let's finish the eye. I mean it. I just mean... business. You hear that? What? Oh, okay. Hi? Yeah. Hello. Hi.
Holy shit. So that was a little unexpected and alarming because Olga likes Finecore more than I do, and they just fucking canned her. And Jack's missing, and there's this whole fucking mess. Like Jack Panda, Olga's partner in crime, if you're new to the show, is not in the community either, and he's gone. And now Olga's fired, and what the fuck is gonna happen? Because now Dawn is like a fucking insane capitalist overlord. So this is quite the fine mess, I would say. I'm shocked. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do without somebody to openly despise. I hope that all of you can catch your breath a little bit on that one, but apparently Olga Lowe has been terminated by Finecore and will probably just flame out into a den of madness. Real quick, just want to mention if you're interested and this is your kind of fun, We do have a brand new shop on our website, the shopofwan.com. That's shopofwan.com. You can see our various merchandise, support the show that way, and get some cool stuff. I actually have some merch on the way that I'll be showing off on the show next week. So check it out. You can even get a fine core visor if you're a bootlicker like Olga was. And you see now what that really gets you. So, oh God. Okay, we're going to move on. Real quick, want to give a shout out to More Motion for making the backdrops for the show. These are free on YouTube. We're throwing a link into the chat for you. Thank you, Ash Mandy, for that. And we're moving on to album recs. And as I mentioned in the last episode, I'm not doing album recs anymore. This is a community-driven endeavor. It's a community, not a kingdom, as I just have said several times now. And speaking of Ash Mandy, that's who's doing the album recs. So Ash Mandy, Matt Ashworth, please.
Hello, Weird at Night community. It's your old friend Matt Ashworth from Nada Mucho. Today I got the frantic text from Patrick that we needed an album recs segment for tonight. And I got one that I've been thinking about in my mind. So I'm running out to my garage here, scratched out some notes, and I'm going to give it to you quick and dirty. So if you don't know what Nada Mucho is, we are a volunteer online music and culture zine publishing from the Northwest since 1997. People say we're a blog, but that word didn't exist when we started. So yes, I'm old and have been around the Seattle music scene for quite a while. So for tonight's album recs, I'm taking a little bit different approach, and I'm going to tell you about 3 albums by the same band. And that band is called Los Halos. So Los Halos are from Philadelphia. They released 3 albums between about 2000 and 2004 on Seattle label Loveless Records, which was co-owned by John Richards of KXP fame and Pete Nordstrom of Nordstrom fame. And as legend has it, the band recorded most of their debut and their follow-up for Ramona in their basement in Philadelphia, and had been sending the demo out to almost 100 labels and not hearing anything back, and were getting discouraged. And all of a sudden they got an email from John Richards that said he loved the stuff and wanted to put it out. And thankfully, when Loveless first launched in 1999, they were one of the labels that started sending us all of their upcoming CDs and promotional materials. About that time, I started to see a song by Los Halos show up on the indie snob BitTorrent communities I was a part of, and I got really intrigued. But from that label's entire catalog, my 3 favorite records are the 3 from Los Halos. So Los Halos' debut came out in about 2001, and it is just an epic 7-song collection of dreamy, atmospheric, and occasionally punishing tracks. It's really driven by the instrumentation and the frontman, who goes by the name Samevu. He's got these gorgeous, really vulnerable vocals, but on this record, they're almost an afterthought, and you have to kind of look for them in the mix. And then at other times, they're brought up and really punctuate a crescendo. It's a great record to put on when you just want to create a mood or an atmosphere and just get wrapped in. It's great like on a rainy Sunday if you're doing projects around the house. It's also good to put on if you're just looking for some quiet introspection. The track to check out first is called Infinity Bitch, and it is just an epic sort of 3-part song with a huge crescendo and payoff at the end when they played it at the Croc, the old Croc with the pole in the middle back in the day. It's one of my favorite live performances I've ever seen. In 2003, the band's follow-up came out called For Ramona. It's 10 tracks, and it's almost the opposite of the predecessor in that Samevu's vocals are higher in the mix. It's really a, I think, more song and story, or at least metaphorical, lyrical, driven than the instrumentation of the predecessor. It's just got this quiet charm, these really carefully constructed songs with different parts but played really simply and really lo-fi. It's one of those records that, 3 or 4 weeks after you listen to it, one of the kind of subtle melodies will pop in your head and just not be able to get rid of it. So I adore this record. It's Please Start with Dagger Bones, which is kind of, similarly dreamy but less acoustic based than some of the songs on there, and it's kind of like the best Stereolab or Sparkle Horse song ever. You could put it on the B-side with some of those bands' work, and it would outshine them every time. So, Los Halos' third and final album is called Leaving Virginia, and it came out in about 2004. It really brings sort of the best elements of the first two records together in one more cohesive package. The songs really vary in sort of style and instrumentation and length, with some 6-7 minute songs, some shorter kind of pop song length songs. So it's just expertly sequenced. It all fits together, even though there's a lot of variation. It's got some dreamy kind of Stereolab-ish type songs. It's got some great acoustic catchy numbers. It's even got kind of what I would call a more like stomping rock anthem, which is really out of character for the band, but is one of my favorite tracks on this record. So I think I've probably listened to Leaving Virginia in its entirety as much as any album in my catalog, which is a lot. And I hope that you will check it out. I'm going to put in the links, not only the YouTube playlist for each album, but a link to one song from each album that I recommend as a starting point. And I'll go share those 3 songs in the Discord as well, in case people have time to listen to it and want to tell me what they think. But Los Halos, highly, highly recommended.
All right. Thank you, Ash Maddie. Los Halos. Ash Maddie was able to find the links. I had a hard time. Loveless Records, unfortunately, is no more. And so those songs just aren't as widely available as they once were. However, Los Halos does have that presence, and Ash Maddie was able to find it. So thank you for that. Also want to say, join our Discord, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on the opportunity to throw out some album recs of your own, because we have a brand new album recs channel where you can just drop a link to an album that you think that should make the list. Ordinarily, these are added to our Spotify playlist. Unfortunately, there isn't much of a presence for Los Halos, but ordinarily that's where they would end up. So in either case, we're very happy to have you here, and we got to pay some bills. So your friends at the Dark Levers of Power want to remind you to never ever allow anything to change ever, because people for the ethical treatment of the extremely wealthy, Patu, we cage them, you pay them. You pay them. Insecurity, distrust you can trust. Fine Core Company, Shitty's Pizza, the hospital is next door. Use promo code Why God Do We Suffer. Free depubing. Normally $4.99. You get one per customer now on a depubing. Folks, if you're new to this show, you understand that when you go to a restaurant and to a fine pizza establishment, it can be highly suspect what's delivered to your table. And you don't know how hairy the people are who work at these establishments. You don't have that luxury. So you need to know, at Shitty's Pizza, they are very hairy people, but they scrape pubes off just for you. So, on the corner of 9th and Nocturnal Drive, just past the memory of your first fully charged smartphone. And I'm legally obligated to share this one. Don's long gone hedge fund capital asset acquisitions and exchange company / firm, a fine core company. Don says that money rules. He's changed a lot. And his hairline has really changed a lot. And he kind of looks like Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood. And it's weird. Yum, 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 yum. Coin, 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 coin. Chew, chew, chew. Send on all your money. Something will happen. Huh?
You don't want to hear that, do you?
Yeah, we got the props for you here. Oh, you came prepared, didn't you?
All set, huh? Well, this is a must. I guess it's a must. We've got to do it.
Really? Now who's got it? Sure. Look, the guy is running to first base, but I want to throw the guy out. So I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Throw it to who?
Naturally.
And who's got it?
Naturally.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to Natural.
No. You throw the ball to first base, then who gets it?
Naturally.
That's it. Now you're
Same thing.
Hey, I just wanted to intro this new snippet, continued preview of the short film Forget Your Flowers and Your Monster, collab with Emily Ravenscraft. Enjoy. thank y'all for indulging me on watching my short film and for indulging me every week as we get weird and wild on Weird at Night. And, as always, y'all, attack with Fine Corp. Attack with Fine Corp. That felt weird. Wonder, are y'all hearing what I'm saying to you? I'm saying Fine Corp. Well, y'all go ahead and let me know what's going on in the chat, because not only is this vertical framing thing not okay, this attack with Fine Corp thing is really creeping me out. So yeah, let me know what you're hearing in the chat, because I'm saying Fine Corp, but I'm not sure you're hearing Fine Corp. Okay, aloha. Attack with
Fine Corp. Fine Corp.
All right. Well, we are rolling. We have a lot to unpack here. One, Olga Lowe got fired. I was going through the chat here and saw that some people, Alex F&V suggested that maybe Olga has some guilt about leaving Jack behind or possibly killing Jack. That seems crazy to me, but mainly because I know that Olga's really lazy and I just don't think that she would do it. Trying to find the answers from Jimmy Jackson. Okay. So I had to ask Jimmy Jackson how, one, if they had been doing streams regularly, and two, how had they kept their creativity engaged? And Jimmy had said, their radio show with Hollow Earth streams every Thursday and has continued through all this. That was Jimmy's first streaming show with video. So you learn something about Jimmy Jackson, which is that Jimmy does not fuck around, okay? Jimmy does everything pro immediately. There's no dicking around in between that. So Jimmy Jackson says doing this alongside Blazing Space helped Jimmy feel more comfortable, which I can attest to as well. Blazing Space is excellent. Astro Media Lab, I said, how long had they been in the streaming game? And Carlos said streaming for 3 years, podcast scheming for just over 2, and still figuring it out. And Purgato will be their next guest. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There is a whole lot more coming from Astro Media Lab. Very excited to see where they go next, because this has been in the works for a very long time. I am trying to figure out if there's any more we should review before we move on. Let's see here. Oh, I should let you all know we are on kind of a significant delay tonight, just due to the multi-stream nature of all of this. So I am not necessarily reading what you're saying in real time. We're not able to chat quite that quickly together tonight, but we'll still interact. And with that, I say, welcome to the second half of Weird at Night, Weird-orinos. I'm very happy to have you. Look, Meredith has something interesting.
Amen, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Can you smell what Meredith is cooking up for y'all? I got a tight 5 on wrestling and why it is worth our attention here in 2020. This is going to be an intense deep dive, but we're going to structure it. We're going to get through this together. Ready, Patrick? I told you I'd do it one day. Let's go. Why give a fuck about pro wrestling? Part 1.
Okay, we've got a little bit of time. Wrestling will always keep Patrick entertained, and Fine Core can only see what he's seeing right now. So, you don't believe me? Let's check. Let's see what Patrick's seeing right now.
Please, in the chat, tell me exactly the last time somebody said something negative about Dwayne The Rock Johnson to you. Personally. I'll wait.
I know. This is brilliant. I'm pretty brilliant. Okay, so we have a short amount of time. Patrick knows how little I actually know about wrestling, so he'll catch on if we go too long. But we gotta talk about Fine Core. Like, what the fuck is happening? They're censoring me, which only one person on planet Earth can do that, and that is Shady Eyes. Or David Bowie. David Bowie could have told me to shut the fuck up. David Bowie does tell me to shut the fuck up sometimes. Okay, so, no, the people are disappearing. Look, who's gone now? Jack? Missing. Dawn? Not missing, but like, that's not Dawn, who's come back to us. What the fuck is happening? And Steve Germany knows something now? And like, there's an acronym, but then like, mysteriously we don't get to know it? Is it because it's like, fucked, inevitable, negligent, and, Is that why we can't know it? Because that's their acronym for Fine Core? I'm just trying to say, y'all, I see this. I'm also deeply concerned. You're not alone. We'll check back in. This is not over. You don't shut me down and fucking replace my lawn guy with a corporate drone and think that nothing's gonna happen. Should we finish up the wrestling bit? I just love watching the smashing and then the jumping onto the table. Oh, that's one of my favorite. And the chairs go whap. And like the costumery and the garments and the makeup. Oh my god. Okay, man, my time's really running out. And I just hope that y'all have a very fine and fabulous day. Talk soon.
Wow. Mere Death does a deep dive on pro wrestling. Can you believe that shit? Like, holy shit. And all that stuff you said about The Rock and Stone Cold and the underwear and the sweatiness. It was all true. It was all true. Thanks, Mere Death. I hope you all feel as edified and understood in the language of professional wrestling as Mere Death has so eloquently made for us. But yet still, we have so much more to cover. So much more. So much more. So, with that in mind, we have what could be considered the very final, perhaps maybe final, version of Day and Night by Matt Jenkins.
I had a dream that I was dead. It felt just like bed. A pillow for my head. Tomorrow was gone. No future to fear. No truth to hold. It's never been so clear. 45 years, more in the box, when nobody talks. I've never been so sure. I had been purified in the sands of reason, an ageless empire of truth and meaning. I'm coming back again. 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 I'm coming back again.
Wow. That, folks, if you're new to the show, started as a 15-second animation that was added onto 15 seconds at a time over a course of months. And it's become what it's become. I'm honored that Matt Jenkins used my song, Ageless, in that video. And I hope it means something to you, because it means a hell of a lot to me. I want to thank everybody who's contributed amazing stuff tonight. Blazing Space with that beautiful new video with a score by E. Ravenscraft. Absolutely incredible. It's so great to have so many cool creators out there. If you want to support the channel and help us continue to make time and be able to make all the time we need to really make this show the best it can be, please think about giving us a subscribe on the channel, because that's a big help. And also, if subscribing ain't your deal, maybe looking good.
You know, it's not just juvenile justice we're talking about. We're talking about our justice system as a whole. We have to change it. Our justice system now is based upon implicit bias, institutional racism. It doesn't take into account historical trauma that has existed and that our youth suffer from. It hasn't taken into account, in a realistic matter, the issues of adverse childhood experiences. So our job has to be something different as we create a new today.
With all of the pain and all of the passion, and all of the fire in my belly, whatever I wanna be. I can't keep trying to be all the things you want to see. I can't keep trying to meet all the expectations you set for me. I can't keep trying to be all these sights set out to see. All I can be is me, and that's all I can be. That's all that I can be. That's all that I can be. With all of the pain and all of the passion and all of the fire. All the fire in my belly, whatever I wanna be.
I see a place where we have moved from this traditional punitive-based model to a strength-based model of interacting with our youth. I see a place where conflict that occurs in the community is actually resolved in the community by the restorative justice initiatives that have been ongoing, not only in our community, but in every community, many communities across the nation, and in fact, like they are doing in New Zealand. A place where we are providing services, not through the court, but through the communities.
Welcome back to another Reading Rainbows with Blazing Space. And today, we're going to look into Kurt Vonnegut, Dick-Eyed Dick. Dead-Eyed Dick. There we go. So, with opening night only a few hours away, I dawdled from the theater to my brother's duplex apartment 3 blocks away. The snowflakes were few, and they melted when they landed. I'd given up reading or listening to the news since I had come to New York. And so I did not know that the Ice Age was reclaiming southwestern Ohio with the most terrible blizzard in history there. And at just about the time the curtain went up on Kathmandu, that blizzard would come bustling in the back door of the old carriage house back home. And then it would fling open the great front portals from the inside, just as Father had done for Celia Hardeth so long ago. People talk a lot about all the homosexuals there are to see in Greenwich Village, but it was all the neuters that caught my eye that day. These were my people. As used as I was to wanting love from nowhere, as certain as I was that almost anything desirable was likely to be booby-trapped, I had a fairly funny idea. Someday, all we neuters would come out of our closets and form a parade. I even decided what banner our front rank should carry. As wide as Fifth Avenue, a single word would be printed on it in letters 4 feet high: egregious. Most people think that word means terrible, or unheard, or
or unforgivable, but it has a much more interesting story than that to tell. It means outside the herd. Imagine that. Thousands of people outside the herd.
When the justice system see its value to be part of the community and see young people as people and family as family, then I think there might be a sense of justice, because it's about fitting each other's needs. The problem is that we can't help identify what those needs are if we don't have relationship and we don't have connection and we don't trust each other. To achieve this vision, you know, we have to invite people who are willing to do this work, you know, and willing to be in connection, to heal and be in relationship and to lead that work and to influence that work. And oftentimes when we think about change, we always impose that onto others. Well, the community needs to change. Well, the system needs to change. Well, everybody. What about if we all change ourselves?
Thank you, Blazing Space. It has been an absolutely action-packed night here at Weird at Night. I want to thank all of you who've joined us throughout the 3.5-hour spectacular that we presented. I want to give a big shout out to Jimmy Jackson, huge shout out to Astro Media Lab, Noel Brass Jr., and as I said, most importantly, Blazing Space for getting this whole thing to go together. You all have been amazing. I want to say that I fine-core you very much. And that if we give in to the fine core and we let ourselves come together, we can accomplish anything. So there's also issues plaguing us because clearly Blazing Space thinks they're being censored. And I don't know, every time they say fine core, that's what I hear. And that's fine core to me. So this is meant for people with bigger brains than mine, because clearly I've gotten us into a huge mess and that's going to continue to evolve. And we're going to have to get ourselves out of it somehow. But now, to close us out, we turn to the Shade Spear of the Weird at Night universe, the roving bard of the Weird at Night universe, Shady Eyes, to give us some perspective. And then I'm going to roll the credits after this, jump into the Discord for some voice chat afterwards. This has been a blast. I fine core you all very, very much.
Shady Eyes. I'm reporting on a question. What the fuck is with my heart on my sleeve? I wear my heart on my chest. Shady Eyes. Pondering over a found fire. Looking for messages amongst the flames, answers to questions. And the first answer is... I don't know how to read fire. Question number 2. Why am I not translucent? Answer 2. Sometimes I think I'm a crystal, and crystals is translucent. And then I remember I'm not a crystal. Question number 3. Does God exist? And can he keep my fucking joint lit? Question number 3. Because the answer is a question. How do you feel about fire? How you feel about the ocean? How you feel about the weird amount of kneeling I'm doing on the concrete right now next to a grill in the middle of a park? Question number 5. Who the fuck infected me with the patriarchy? Answer number 5. God? the concept thereof, built in and around the idea that male people are somehow better than female people. In many religious tradition. Maybe, kinda. Also in a lot of sociological tropes. Anthropological tropes. All throughout the world. No. Feminism is cool. Don't let rocks carved with weird things tell you different. Question number 5011. Why don't I own a selfie stick? And why do I hate them so goddamn much? Answer number 5011. Millennial shame. Question 6. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? Answer number 6. Anger is balance of kindness. To fully know my kindness, I needed to know my anger. Woe, woe those who let their anger be cowed into submission, lest they not know the kindness of their soul.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.